It's day 500, so that's 500 videos every day. Sorry, that's a video every day for 500 days. And look, 2 more to go. It's 7:30 in the morning, so let's see what happens later. 10 minutes later, we've gone over the 20,000 subscribers. There's a guy on Twitter claims it was him that's a 20,000 subscriber, but I'm not too sure, and I've known him a bit, so we should have subscribed ages ago. Big load on. Perfect fit on that trailer. Let's go into mow some dog field paths. I started this last night with the flat 8 grab. Looks pretty good until you walk around the other side, because I was stacking it all from one side. And it looks a bit of a mess. But it's only got to go a mile up the road, so it'll be alright. Just throw some straps on it and get it there, stick it in the shed. Day 500. And Andrew and Sam are thrilled because they're doing a first aid course. Can you say hello? It's day 500, everyone wants to meet everyone.
I do.
It's Andrew. Right. Sam, how long have you worked here?
Yeah, 18 months.
Nearly 6 years.
Can you believe that? They're a bit wonky. Adam's going to shove them square. He did shove them the other side, but I think he's made it worse. Used to do all the straw in these little bales and stack them like 250 on a trailer, or in the 56 grab and bring them back to the yard and put them all in the shed. Made a bit of space here. There's some old rape straw bales on the bottom, so we're going to stack on top of them because there's hay in the other shed, and that bay's a bit, we'll put big bales in that. So I'm just here now with the straw. I'm going to unload it in the new farm. Only a couple of layers left to go, taking shape in the shed, trying to put as many in with the grab as we can, and Adam's just sorting out the ones that we can't reach with the grab. All in the shed now, a little bit rough, but we put a few down here for the party that they're having at the weekend so they can grab them easy. Big fan here, Zach, come all the way from
Lincolnshire.
And he wants to know what's his local young farmers for your, what's your village?
Glentworth.
So if anyone's watching, tell him which the local young farmers is. He's just been having a look at the Fent because he's just visited the sunflower maze.
Yeah.
He's got a Fent hat on as well, not a John Deere one. Just at the ice cream man, and he's done me a special ice cream where the cone is full of sherbet, so we'll have a blue tongue later. I get all the good jobs. Just been at the maze changing the toilet rolls because the toilets have run out of, for some reason. Everyone turns up now, wants to go to the toilet, so they're all using the toilets and all using the toilet roll. So they keep running out, so I have to keep running backwards and forwards and topping them up. Just got back in the yard. There's 2 load of wheat just left for Frontier at Manchester, so hopefully they'll go through without a hitch. They are 14%, 14.5% moisture and set 80 bushel, so they needed to be 72 and under 15%, so hopefully we won't get any claims on that, but we do know sometimes they do get it wrong up there, so we'll just see what happens. I've just missed as well John K's son's wagon with Union Bank Farm on it. Mint black Scania. I met him in the road, but obviously I was driving, so I couldn't get my phone out, but it looked pretty cool, so hopefully we might this week for another one. Because Sam and Andrew are still on a health and safety, no, I keep saying health and safety, because Sam and Andrew are on a first aid course, I'm going to go bailing, and I've only ever used this baler once last year when we got it for an afternoon, so I'm after ring Adam or Sam up and see how to work the computer. Adam's 250R is still out of action, so he's on the combine today. The head's cracked by the sounds things. And we're hoping that John Deere are going to sort that out because it's not done many hours at all and it's not so old. It is technically out of warranty, but John Deere I think are pretty good with their engines, standing by them when they get faults like that. So hopefully they'll sort that out too. Otherwise it's quite expensive for a new head for it. On the baler now, fold the wheels out so that they go wide, because we fold them in for down the road. I've already folded the ramp down, which is basically these buttons, so we've got the ramp down on the back now. The bales don't drop too far and fall on the floor. Bit of a mushy bale going to come out first because Sam took the pressure off last night when he finished, so that'll be a bit of a misshaped one. Get the other wheel out here now. Easy. Used to have to sort of like take them off and hang them on the back. Not easy now, you just swing it round. Yeah, we'll get back in, sit the PTO on. Bale this roll that was left last night, we didn't do it with little bales, we already had 260 in that little field there, then off to another. He definitely knows it's a 44 row of straw. Can't go too hard, can't physically get it up the pickup reel. Anyway, it's under 10% moisture, so that's pretty good. Gonna mop this up and then off to Bill's, because he's got some barley straw that we cut yesterday that's ready and the wagon's in the area to collect it. so I need to kind of get there in the next sort of 40 minutes. Don't know whether you can hear, but you can hear the tractor going, or it's like rocking backwards and forwards. That's every time the ram in the baler does a stroke to squash the straw. It kind of like rocks the tractor because it's so heavy and it's pushing so hard. Some of you say you've watched them all, but you can't watch them all on YouTube because some of the very first ones aren't on YouTube. Anyway, I thought, why is this Day500? I'll show you the first one. So some of this you're going to see now is off the BBC News, which is where it all started. And some of the camera footage will be grainy, and that's because it was live. And then some of it will be really clear, and that's what I filmed with my phone. And that's why they were like, oh my God, the quality's really good, considering you've used your phone. And that's how it started. So I'm going to show you that now anyway, then you know what day one was, right back 500 days ago.
Today we caught up with our arable farmer Ollie Harrison from Merseyside, who at least has been able to enjoy the first dry spell since June. Here's our environment correspondent, Judy Hobson.
This is the social distancing cab cam.
At last the rain has stopped and Ollie Harrison is preparing to plant spring wheat.
We've had 5 dry days, which is the longest we've had since June last year together. I'm now having to roll the ground to keep the moisture in so that the wheat that we drill today will start growing as soon as possible.
This is what his fields looked like 2 weeks ago after months of rain, which ruined his winter crops.
We're putting spring crops in now, so they don't yield anywhere near what a winter crop would because they don't have this as long a growing season. If you drilled it in September last year and then harvested it the following August, it's had a lot longer in the ground, more chance of it to grow and yield higher. So we'll have smaller piles in the sheds for next year, really.
Due to the need for social distancing, we decided to interview Ollie via a laptop. Talking of the coronavirus, Ollie, how is that affecting your business at the moment?
We're having to take extra precautions with machinery and tractors and stuff, so no one's swapping tractors at the moment now. We're all staying on the same one, and it's having a bit of a knock-on effect to some of the supplies that we get in, so we're having to order tractor fuel well in advance and machinery parts and different things like that.
Some farming sectors are worried about a shortage of skilled labour, but Ollie Harrison thinks it won't be a problem on this farm.
If we have any staff that will have to isolate, it shouldn't be too difficult to replace them because there's so many other people looking for work at the moment. Even people that have worked for me in the past have been ringing and texting saying, I've been laid up, have you got any work going?
This is an industry where mental health is already a concern. Is coronavirus something that you can foresee being problematic for farmers and their mental health?
Social interaction is massively good for your mental health, and with what's going on now, people have to stay in and keep away from people. It could be really bad. This is my isolation pod now for the next few weeks, along with every other farmer in the northwest in the tractor cab, making sure we can get things in the ground that we can harvest this summer.
Judy Hobson, BBC North West Tonight, Tarbert Green.
That's that one done now, and that there. Another 20 bales done. Off to Bill's now. Well, I think Sam's going to jump on. He's finished his first aid course. Just had a message to say that the first load of wheat has been tipped. 40% moisture, 80% bushel. Perfect. Just in case you didn't know, this is what we put in the baler. This string, so it pulls out the centre of there and run round through the middle out. So these are 3,000 metre per pack, 1,500 metre in a roll. So 1.5 kilometres of string on each roll. And each bale has 2.4 times 2.4 times 7 times 0.7. So it has 2.1, let me work it out. Yes, each pack of string, well, each bale needs, I think it's 6.2 metres of string. So each one will do 250, 240 bales, I think I worked it out to be. This is some straw that we brought over last night. James is just restacking it higher and adding hay caps to it so that we don't need as many hay caps to keep going. Just had the text now, second load of wheat's been tipped, all good. I'm on the Mini Merlot. It's got diesel in it. We're just getting some of these bales in. Go and get some more in that we baled up the road. And then I think we might go and cut some wheat where we want to drill some oilseed rape next door. So we're cutting barley for Bill at the moment. Just show you this speed bump in the field. It's where I lifted the header up. You can see it's gone up, over it, back down again. The rest of it's all the same height. So just loaded that now with the Mini Merlot. It's a little bit rough on them little wheels, to be fair, in the field, but although it's small, it's definitely capable. just going to show you how quick we can put the hay caps on. James is just stacking them up now, I don't know, maybe 10 high. Takes around a minute to put a cap on, but once they're on, you kind of leave them on all year and you just keep using them as the top bales. So he's just starting to stack there. This stack was put here last night in a hurry, but we're starting another one further over, higher, and that's just what he's doing now. He's out to meet the staff day. So how long have you worked here for, James? Can't remember.
18 years.
He's been on and off because he keeps going building KFCs. But James basically started working here when he was 15 and never went to school for the last year, and he was one of them that was 16 in September. So we did his tractor test in September and basically worked here and never did his exams. And now he owns his own house and a business, because he also he does contracting with a mini digger as well, and he's been building KFCs all over the country. In fact, the first field I baled before this afternoon, that was the first time James did some work for us. So we rang him up to see, because he lived up the road, to see if he wanted to come and help us, because it was harvest and he was only 15, and we wanted some trailers jet washing out for going combining. Then it ended up that the hay was ready to bale, so we ended up rowing hay up, and then he never left. So he worked for us for a few years and worked for a friend of mine, well, another friend of mine, and then had his own digger and went around the country building KFCs, and now he's back. Because Richard, who used to do with his chipping, is now building a house, so he's taking some time off to do that as well. And James has started doing the chipping as well. He doesn't know I'm going to do this because he's deaf. This is Thomas, often known as the damaged fairy, but it's not always him.
Gets the blame for everything, even
So
if he
how
doesn't
long have you lived here for?
too many years.
And how long have you worked for me for?
He's worked for me for a good while.
Get something done. Now my dad's going to burn some rubbish, so we need to tell Emma to do it. Mini Merlot, moving a set of 6 metre discs. I've just lifted the front up though, just rolling it on the crumble roller, packer roller, just so that they're not in the way of us stacking that straw there, because the road sweeper's nearly in the way as well. I'm in the drying shed now. I've got the spear. It's got a thing on the top, you twist it, and the little doors open up on the side. It's hard to do with one hand. So the little doors there opened up, and you turn it the other way and they close. So what I'll do is I'll stick this in on a diagonal, so then open it up, and then all them little doors, so there's 4 doors, they'll open up and they'll get a sample of grain from the bottom, the middle, 3/4 and the top, and then tip in that jug and sample it, and that'll give us an average of what it's dried down to. The drying floors are working great again, so we're just emptying it now into this other dryer, which we're going to use to cool it and lift the bushel weight slightly. The bushel weight is about 74, but we're getting up a little bit, it'll be doing no harm, and it'll also cool it a bit as well. So remember the other day I sold a load of wheat for Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and then I cut some more, so I said you can have 4 on Friday. Well, it's now Wednesday, and this is the 3rd load they've been for already, so they're definitely short. So I just hope they don't want to come tomorrow for the other 3, because I hadn't told them they were ready till Friday. Remember the door that got bent the other night? Well, James is trying to straighten it back up a bit. James is beating it with a hammer. You get a job at Aston Martin now. Some of you won't remember Sooty and Sweet, but I always thought Sooty was the yellow one and Sweet was the grey one. But in this case, Sweet is the yellow one. A load of quality wheat straw. Get it now before it's gone or chopped. All swept up now. He's just going to get a little bit that we spilt on the yard there. That can go for biomass. The dryer's now discharging it, and that's now ready to go in for cooling. So we're going to try and set it up automatic so it'll run all night, just doing a cooling cycle and spitting it in the shed. Oh no, it's raining. The plan was to edit the video now, upload it, and then be live at 8 o'clock combining wheat on YouTube. But it's now raining, and it looks like that's going to stop the play. Another load of hay caps just disappearing across the road to go on the stack there. Yeah, the rain's kind of like messing with us at the moment. It's trying to spit, so we're not sure what we can do. But what we also could do is, being as how it's day 500, if you leave a comment, say what's your favourite bit, I don't know, on the videos that you've been watching, and I'm going to pick 5 people, and we're going to get some t-shirts made up saying I was here at the beginning of Ollie Vlogs, and we're going to send them out to you if we can get your postal address and stuff. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to pick 5, reply to your comment, and then we'll have to get an email address or something and get some details off you and sizes and things like that. So if you leave a comment of what's been your favourite bit over the last 500 videos, that'll be really helpful. Just got a sample of grain out the dryer now. Just going to check the bushel weight, see how long we need to leave it cooling for and cleaning for to make sure the bushel weight's bang on. And my dad's also just pointed out that he's worked on the farm 58 years, so he's 73 in 20 days. Just checked it, 13.6 moisture and 72.95 bushel weight. Obviously it's 35 degrees, so we've got to cool that down a bit. By the time it's cooled down and it's been in the dryer for a little bit, that bushel weight will probably get up to 60, 76, maybe even 78. Never got a chance to get Adam or Christine in today's video because they both ended up completely busy and me ended up completely busy, not anywhere near them. Adam was obviously with me this morning stacking straw, but we'll try and catch up with him tomorrow anyway, and Christine if she'll be up for it. Baler's back, it's been rained off. Straw trailer back as well, so they've all got hay caps on now outside, so it doesn't matter that it's raining. It's now 7:26 on day 500. The rain has actually now looking like it's set in, but if it goes off, we'll go live, not at 8 o'clock, probably 7 o'clock on YouTube. I might just go live anyway with whatever I'm doing and just see if it works. But thank you to everyone that's watched the last 500 videos, or all of them, or whichever, or even just the last 10. Thanks to everyone that's subscribed. More to come. Next stop, we're obviously on 20,000 subscribers now. Next stop is 100,000 subscribers, because when you get to 100,000 subscribers, you get a plaque off YouTube, so it's got to be worth getting to there. Like I say, thanks again for watching. Welcome to everyone that's new. Got a brilliant guest outro from Jared as well, so that's coming up now. Spent a bit of time making this one because he's even managed to put NHS in the field. So thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow, or maybe later. Oh yeah, don't forget, have a go at winning the t-shirt.